In 2008, California rock band Weezer released their third self-titled album, The Red Album. Track 3 of that record is a nostalgic journey down a music-filled memory lane of the upbringing and formative years of frontman Rivers Cuomo in a ballad called Heart Songs. The lyrics culminate in his own experience of turning all of the musical influences of his life into his own opportunity to write, record, and perform music that went on to impact and inspire others. This podcast, similarly, traces the impact of music as it has highlighted and even inspired the life experiences of its guests. My name is Adam Blaylock. Welcome to Heart Songs, the podcast. This week on Heart Songs, the podcast, we have a singer-songwriter touting a new album, 10 Bones from a Virgin Graveyard. Please enjoy Hannah Marcus.
Gordon Lightfoot sang a song about a boat that sank in the lake at the break of the morning. A cat named Stevens.
Hi, so my name is Hannah Marie Marcus. Hannah Marcus as a songwriter and doing olfactory art now as well. I guess I'm answering these questions about a song I grew up with and a song I discovered when I figured out what genre of music I liked, and a song associated with deciding what I wanted to be, and then a heart song. And I'd like to say that I don't know about other people, but this has both been like extremely fun and just excruciating, and I was avoiding doing this because I kind of knew it would be, because I am one of those people who cannot pick 3 songs. It's like hell. I mean, it's really was, I stayed up till 4:30 in the morning ruminating about, Candy Says versus Freddie's Dead versus Someday Soon, and wait, there was also, the whole thing was hell. And then what about the Beatles? So thanks a lot, Heart Songs. But anyway, it was kind of amazing experience. But anyway, so I was born in 1961, and my mother was a music buff, and she was an artist, and she used to listen to records all the time when she was painting. And my father was a classical musician, and so there was a lot of music in the house. But the songs came from my mother's collection. So the songs that I sort of listened to, or just that were a part of my life when I was a kid, were, the whole Bob Dylan oeuvre and the Beatles, and a couple of musical theater records like Cabaret and Name, and there was Cold Sweat there was that Supremes record, and I would stare at the pictures on all these records, and they were, just worlds unto themselves, and you'd really get to know Aretha Franklin's face on Aretha Now while listening to Say a Little Prayer. It was pretty profound when I was like 6, so, and I listened to Beatles 65, I remember, and like for a while Honey Don't was my favorite song. I didn't realize, and it was that I would pursue the songwriter, so I really enjoyed doing that. So like songs like Someday Soon, I listened to it first when it was Judy Collins, but I needed to find out who wrote the song. So I figured that it would be more kind of interesting to not go with the songs that obviously had massive impact on my life, like a Rolling Stone, for instance, also had massive impact on a lot of people's lives, and, for very good reason. But like, there were also strange little songs that had a sort of unexpected impact on me. So I was sort of going through this. My mother had among her records a Richard and Mimi Farina album called Reflections in a Crystal Wind. And there was a picture of Richard and Mimi Farina inside a picture frame, and they're sort of hugging the picture frame itself. And I found this very magical. And I actually found it online. And the song I was obsessed with was a song called Bold Marauder.
It's hi-ho, hey, I am the bold marauder, and hi-ho, hey, I am the white destroyer, for I will take you out by the hand and lead you to the hunter, and I will show you thunder and steel, and I will be your teacher. Then we will dress in helmet and sword and dip.
Which I think also at the time, it was scary and beautiful and sort of ancient sounding, but also the lyrics were really mysterious and beautiful. And listening to them today, they're really fantastic. So that's one song. That's the song that I'm picking for a song that I lived with when I was quite young, and that had a sort of, infused me, along with a lot of other ones, but that's a great one.
These are the songs I keep singing. Quiet riot got me started with the banging of my head. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and Slayer taught me how to...
So then the second one, a song I discovered, okay, yeah, I am one of those people, the caveat of, those people who can't seem to make a decision to, I don't have a genre of music I like the most, or at least I'm not willing to admit I do. It changes all the time. But I love songs. So, there were a lot of these, but I was thinking of the first record that I bought on my own. Actually, I didn't buy it. I asked for it as a birthday present for my 11th birthday. It was the second record. The first one was Meet the Monkees. The second one was Superfly. And I don't know exactly how I came across it. I think there was a movie theater across the street from where we lived on the Upper West Side on Broadway that was playing Superfly. And I heard it on the radio, and I got really, really into Superfly, and really didn't, this wasn't the life I was living. Superfly's life was not my life, but Curtis Mayfield was just a, spectacular songwriter and arranger, and I loved the songs on Superfly, and particularly loved, among them was Superfly itself.
Darkest of night with the moon shining bright. There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die.
And I used to listen to that song obsessively when I was 11. So that's the one I'm picking, out of the other million songs I listened to obsessively. That was one.
These are the songs I keep singing. Back in 1991, I wasn't having any fun till my roommate said, come on and put a brand new record on. Had a baby on it.
Okay, number 3, I'm going with, there have been several points in my life when I've sort of I remember, listening to certain songs for the first time and having kind of a shift. And one of the people I'm not representing here is probably the person who has had one of the people, again, outsized influence on my songwriting, Lou Reed. But I remember actually doing a music thesis in college and sort of coming to a realization that songs, again, were what I wanted to focus on, music and words, and that this was in 1983, and that in 1982, a record came out, which was Big Science, Laurie Anderson. And it changed my sense of how you could approach songwriting. And because Laurie Anderson was married to Lou Reed, I feel that he's represented in this choice as well. Because I can't choose one Lou Reed song. It's ridiculous. But I listened to Oh Superman.
Oh, Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad. Hi. I'm not home right now, but if you want to leave a message, just start talking at the sound of the tone. Hello? This is your mother. Are you there? Are you coming home?
And others, but Oh Superman in particular, like, just there's a clarity and a calm that still, like, helps me to anchor myself in my songwriting project. And I really love that about her. And I loved how there was just nothing like it, and how elegant her decisions were on that record, and how able she was to utilize this technology that had just come around. And like, I remember pursuing, trying to learn the ARP 2600 and Fairlight, and there was like a place downtown where you could, called Path, where you could take lessons, and I didn't have that. Like, I was a Lou Reed person. Not a Laurie Anderson person, but Laurie Anderson's sensibility just was like really important balance. And I have a tremendous amount of admiration for her. And then as far as my heart song, I mean, I'm the reason that this has come, this podcast was brought to my attention was because I have a record coming out, and there's a song on it called A Virgin Graveyard.
My love is like a phantom limb upon a dancing bear. The pleasure that it causes him is matched by the despair. How can he bounce so freely on something that isn't there? And with the stars he dances for completely unaware.
And it is a song that I wrote 20 years ago, and I had a very personal kind of relationship with the song. I'm sure other songwriters have had this, where you have a kind of protective, almost perhaps too protective relationship with a certain song. And none of these songs have come out till now. There's kind of motley crew, but this song, a friend of mine who had played on it had a cassette of it and played it for their kid, who listened to it when they were like the way I used to listen to these songs that were just a part of my life. And this kid, it meant a tremendous amount to her child, whose name is Salix, since you asked. No, but I feel like putting it out in the world, such as it is. It was recorded. It was live. There was mistakes and people singing all together on it. And I tried for many years to try to make some sort of pristine version of it. And then ultimately the one that I am releasing is the one where we were all in the room just singing together, and the one that Salix loved. So that's the heart song that I'm choosing. A Virgin Graveyard. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us for Heart Songs, the podcast. If you'd like to be considered to be a guest in a future episode, please email the podcast at heartsongsthepodcast@gmail.com. See you next time.